Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju has once again accused Rahul Gandhi of aligning with the forces conspiring against India. He went on to suggest that Congress MPs are uncomfortable with his remarks. Now, this comes at a time when Rahul Gandhi is on his voter Adhikar Yatra in Bihar. The parliament session has just gotten over. And Kiren Rijiju, minister, once again even going on to the length of questioning the patriotism of Rahul Gandhi. And he also, in fact, has gone on and said that, Rahul Gandhi has links and has aligned with forces inimical to India. Eventually, the question would be if Rahul Gandhi and the government in power has some proof of Rahul Gandhi's allegiance with countries or with people inimical to India, why is the government shying away from taking action? Remember, this is happening in the backdrop of large-scale voter fraud allegations which have been made by the Congress party against the Election Commission. While there are questions which Rahul Gandhi and legitimate questions that he has raised, but there are questions in the Congress party as well. Merely increase in votes or decrease in votes, how does the Congress party prove that is any sort of malice, or at least this was used to swing elections one way or the other? Are these claims part of a larger conspiracy, or do they reflect genuine democratic concerns is possibly a big question. Let's very quickly listen into what Rijiju, the minister in the union government, has said, Mr. Kiren Rijiju, and the response of the Congress party.
हाथ पांव जोड़ के हम लोगों ने कांग्रेस पार्टी सबको कहा है, चर्चा में भाग लीजिए। कांग्रेस में कई सदस्य हैं जो बहुत अच्छा बोलते हैं, ज्ञान भी है। मैं नाम लूंगा तो उनका थोड़ा सा अपना पार्टी में गड़बड़ हो जाएगा, लेकिन कांग्रेस पार्टी में और ऑपोजिशन में भी कुछ पढ़े लिखे अच्छे लोग चुन के आए हैं, उनको बोलने नहीं देते। राहुल गांधी जी अगर बोल नहीं सकते हैं या बोलने का तरीका नहीं है, इसका मतलब ये तो नहीं है कि बाकी को भी बोलने मत दो। बाकी कई लोग हैं ना जो बोल सकते हैं। ये राहुल गांधी तो बहुत डेंजरस ट्रैक में जा रहे हैं कि जो सोरोस बोलते हैं कि भारत के सरकार को डिस्टेबलाइज करने के लिए $1 ट्रिलियन रखा है, या भारत विरोधी खालिस्तान फोर्स कनाडा में, यूएस में, यूके में बैठा है, और भी कई लेफ्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जो देश के खिलाफ काम करने के लिए षड्यंत्र रचा रहे हैं, उनके साथ तालमेल करके राहुल गांधी और कांग्रेस पार्टी काम कर रहे हैं। ये देश के लिए बहुत ही चिंताजनक ये एक समय है, लेकिन अब आश्वासित रहिए, मोदी जी के लीडरशिप में देश को कोई डिस्टेबलाइज नहीं कर सकता है।
1 लाख फर्जी वोटर कहां से आए, कैसे आए, कौन थे, उसका जवाब इलेक्शन कमीशन ने नहीं दिया। इलेक्शन कमीशन कहता है कि राहुल गांधी को एफिडेविट देना चाहिए। कुछ दिन बाद सरकार के अनुराग ठाकुर जी वैसा ही प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करते हैं, जो हम कह रहे थे उसी को दोहरा रहे हैं। पता नहीं उनको यह आइडिया कहां से मिला, किसने दिया, बट वो कर दिया उन्होंने। चुनाव आयोग उनसे एफिडेविट नहीं मांगता है। ये सच्चाई है कि वोटर कटे, 65 लाख कटे, मगर बीजेपी कुछ नहीं कह रही। क्यों? क्योंकि पार्टनरशिप है। इलेक्शन कमीशन, इलेक्शन कमिश्नर और बीजेपी के बीच में पार्टनरशिप है।
प्रधानमंत्री जी टेलीप्रॉम्प्टर के बिना एक शब्द बोल के दिखा दें। आप राहुल गांधी को पर्चे की बात कर रहे हो। राहुल गांधी पार्लियामेंट में खड़े होते हैं, राहुल गांधी के भाषण से प्रधानमंत्री जी संसद में आने की हिम्मत नहीं जुटा पाते। टेलीप्रॉम्प्टर से आप बोलते हो, पर्चे की बात आप उल्टा कह रहे हो। किरण रिजिजू जी, पर्चे से आपके नेता बोलते होंगे, व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी का ज्ञान आप प्राप्त करते होंगे। ये कांग्रेस है, इसके पास जो कुछ है वो देश की जनता का दिया हुआ है। राहुल गांधी जी बने हैं तो 4,000 किलोमीटर भारत जोड़ो यात्रा करके, 67,000 किलोमीटर न्याय यात्रा करके, जो भारत की जनता से उनको सुनने को मिला है, उसका जो फीडबैक है उसको राहुल गांधी जी बोलते हैं। उसके लिए किसी पर्चे की जरूरत नहीं, वो इबारत दिल पे लिखी हुई है।
You know, one thing that we saw in the Parliament session which just concluded, and where we've debated, discussed how the business of legislation suffered. The fact is that when the lines have been so sharply drawn, when the attack is so personal, where is that middle ground where the ruling and the treasury benches and the opposition can find for somehow try and find a common cause to work towards legislation? But let me very quickly introduce Charu Pragya, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, who's joining me at this moment this evening. Sanjay Jha is a political analyst leaning towards the Congress Party, is also with us this evening. Thank you so much to both of you for being with us. Charu, let me begin by asking you, because this is not the first time and again we have heard these assertions, accusations and claims by various leaders of the BJP, and now of course including union ministers, saying that Rahul Gandhi, and you heard what Mr. Rijiju said, that he is working with some left parties, George Soros, Khalistani elements sitting in Canada. They are working in tandem as far as the Congress and Rahul Gandhi is concerned. Now this is a very serious assertion, a claim, accusation that Union Minister Mr. Rijiju has made. What is the government doing about this? Is there an investigation which has been started against Rahul Gandhi and the Congress Party for working against people, those who are inimical to India's interest?
Good evening. Good evening to Sanjay ji and to our viewers today evening. Let's understand that Rahul Gandhi time and time again has consorted and hung out with people who've got a very anti-India mindset and agenda. Various times, whether it is leaders in England, which are very vocal about either the Pakistan issue, in America the same thing has followed, and time again we've also noticed that the kind of statements he gives are very juvenile for national politics. For a man who occupies the chair of the leader of opposition of this country, this kind of juvenile politics is not going to cut it, because yet again he continues with his statements on vote chori, wherein every single allegation made by him has been negated, right? He started with Maharashtra. He talks so much about Maharashtra, albeit 6 months after election results were declared. But then what happened most recently? CSDS Sanjay ji deleted his tweet, said his data was faulty, disappeared. But has Rahul Gandhi learned a lesson? No. The same thing happened in Karnataka. He talked about vote chori in Karnataka, even though it is his government that's in power there. Kiren Rijiju, one of his own ministers, spoke out against Rahul Gandhi and said that no such thing happened. What was done? He was sacked. He was removed from the position of minister. Rahul Gandhi still continues that same statement, that same line of conversation when it comes to Bihar, even though this entire issue is right now with our courts, and the Supreme Courts are giving us observations again and again. No stay was put on the SIR. Whatever loopholes the Supreme Court saw were ironed out. The Election Commission is submitting names, publishing all data in a very transparent manner online for the world to see. But why does Rahul Gandhi talk like this? From where does this kind of feeding come to him, and why is it that every single anti-India force is being echoed by a leader of opposition?
Now let me ask you again. If the BJP believes that Rahul Gandhi is hobnobbing with people, those who have inimical interest towards India, why is the government taking no action? Number one. Number two, you mentioned about the Maharashtra elections and what assertions Rahul Gandhi made. He never made those assertions based on Sanjay Jha's tweet. That was the assertion made on the Election Commission's data. Whether that's right or wrong is a different thing. Let's not mix both of these issues because it's not that the Rahul Gandhi was picking up that tweet of Mr. Sanjay Kumar and making those assertions. So let me ask you again. You said that it's very juvenile of Rahul Gandhi to make such statements. You may think that you are in opposition. He has also been elected. He is leader of the opposition, not being made by the BJP, but by the constitutional system of this country.
Exactly, and he questions this very same constitutional system of the country.
Why not?
See, whether it was Ilhan Omar or lawmakers in the United Kingdom that Rahul Gandhi has met. See, like I said, till something is not caught with concrete proof, we cannot get into the details. But when it comes to the kind of funding that Rahul Gandhi's organizations have been receiving, when pointed questions are asked as to why do so many of his meetings happen behind closed doors and not in an open manner, for example, meeting the Chinese people in Nepal, hidden in the darkness of the night, we are going to ask questions.
Charu, but you are the government. You don't need to ask questions. You need to investigate. You said till the time you began your assertion by saying till the time there is not a concrete proof, action cannot be taken. Does that give the BJP or the ministers to come out and fly this kite? If you are saying that there is dubious funding to Rahul Gandhi, what is he doing outside? Why isn't he behind bars?
Ankit, let me assure you, if any dubious funding or anything of that matter is happening right now while we speak, it is going to be caught. It is only a matter of time. Let's also remember.
So till then, you will use it politically just to make accusations.
Ankit, do not interrupt me when I'm done speaking. You can speak
no,
after me.
I'm asking you the question. You're not answering that question. So I'm only trying to bring you to that. That's it.
You're not supposed to. The reason you're doing this is because you don't want to hear what I have to say. Let me finish. You can speak after me. It's your show. When I talk about accountability in a democracy, it's built on proof, responsibility, and respect for institutions. Have you seen either of these three in our leader of opposition? Whether it is instances from Operation Sindoor or talking to Ilham Omar in an open way, time and time again, we have seen these sentiments echoed, which are anti-India abroad, in India by Rahul Gandhi and his cronies. And please, correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me, how many times has he been quoted in Pakistani media or even in their parliament? How many times is he hailed as their hero? And if that is something that you need to applaud, Ankit, then I'm going to question you as well as our leader of opposition.
Okay. Well, I don't want to get into whether he's been quoted into Pakistani newspapers. That is I'll leave to the politicians. But Sanjay, let me bring you in. With what Mr. Rijiju is saying at least, and what Charu has also asserted, Rahul Gandhi is the leader of opposition. He can't get away by making assertions without, proper proof behind them as well. Like I asked the question to the BJP, let me ask you the same question. Rahul Gandhi comes and makes these claims about vote chori. He says, look at the number of votes which have gone up or in some places have been deleted. How does that, equals to some sort of, malice or some sort of wrongdoing as far as votes are concerned? Not once in his press conference, Mr. Gandhi has given any example or a proof of anywhere where election has been stolen or unfair means have been used.
Ankit, good evening. It's good to be on your program again, and a good evening to you as well, Charu. And let me just address this question upfront. It is so unfortunate that the BJP, Ankit, gets away by repeatedly calling Rahul Gandhi, the Congress, all of us in the opposition, as anti-national. I will give you evidence which I have tweeted about just yesterday based on facts, where the BJP needs to publicly apologize to Rahul Gandhi, the Congress, the opposition, and maybe Charu can do the honors today. You remember the US aid drama that was created by the BJP, Ankit? You know what they said? They said that the $21 million that Donald Trump claimed came to India for a poll manipulation was used by the Congress and the opposition, hand in glove with the same George Soros they're talking about today, to manipulate the election results. And guess what happens? Yesterday, the government says publicly that this money never came for a poll verdict. And do you know how many programs I attended to defend the Congress and the opposition? And the BJP went ballistic and belligerent in the typical style, and they lied to the people of India.
Sanjay, take them to court, but answer the question that I'm asking. If you think, like I've asked the BJP, if Rahul Gandhi's, there are assertions of Rahul Gandhi hobnobbing with people, those who do not have India's interest in heart, please take him to court, put him behind bars. Let me ask you this again. If BJP has lied, do the honors, file a defamation case, take them to the court. But I want to ask you one thing. Vote chori, vote has been stolen, election has been stolen, election fraud. Please tell me, where is the proof?
Well, I'll give you a couple of examples, but let me start by telling you what I believe is the problem. Ankit, once upon a time, the voters chose the government. After Mr. Modi has become Prime Minister, the government wants to choose the voters. That's the tragedy of Indian democracy. Here is the truth. Maybe Charu can answer this. You have an applicant in Bihar whose name is Kat Kumar. Father's name, Catty Boss. Mother's name, Katia Devi. You have one home where you have 280 people living in Muzaffarpur. Boss, मैं बिहार का हूँ. मैं बिहार गया हुआ हूं, वहां पर कोई भी ऐसा मकान नहीं है जिसमें एक कमरा है जहां 280 लोग वहां पर रह रहे हैं. Let me tell you something. Yogendra Yadav did it in the Supreme Court.
Sir,
he
but
brought
I
in people who they said was dead.
These could be examples of, an institution or some officer not doing the job he has been entrusted with. This could be an example of somebody and in some BLO or BLA acting in the way that he is not supposed to act. How does that make the entire election fraud or vote chori? Where is that proof, sir?
Ankit, let me tell you how basically Rahul Gandhi in that press conference, the one where he talked about the Bengaluru Central constituency, he's used EC data to say, listen, these are the 40,000 fake addresses. This is the pub or the brewery where 68 people are living and have voted apparently,
Agreed.
which we discovered never existed.
Agreed.
And he's put a whole lot of names, people who probably did duplicate or multiple voting.
Sir, I agree with all those things, but how do you know that all of those people voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party? Where is that connection? How can you make that connection without any investigation?
Well, I will give you the big one, that with the elephant in the room, right? You just concentrate on Ankit, on the elephant in the room. I agree with your questions. You can say there could be even one-offs. Tell me, why was the Election Commission waiting to argue its case before the Supreme Court? And until it lost its argument and the Supreme Court forced it, the Election Commission was forced to be transparent to the voters of India, and then declared the 65 lakh names that have been deleted with reasons, and putting out the data in a readable format electronically. If the Election Commission had not been told by the Supreme Court, they would not have done it. And imagine the fate of the number of voters in Bihar who would have been disenfranchised. That too itself is a manifestation of the intent of the EC.
Again,
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
I am saying even
murder of democracy.
No, it's the same pretty obvious that the BJP is drawing. It's the same pretty obvious that the BJP is drawing, that because Rahul Gandhi's name has been quoted in Pakistan, he is inimical to India. That's not how things work. There has to be solid proof behind the argument. Charu, let me come to you. On this, Sanjay has a point. Sanjay says that it's not that the Election Commission wanted to do this of its own volition. Election Commission initially refused to, in fact, publish these 65 lakh names. It was only after the Supreme Court asked them that the Election Commission has done so. So why is it that Election Commission and the BJP suddenly is taking higher moral ground? Look, we are doing this, and despite that, there are being assertions being made that there is something malefic as far as the intention is concerned.
Okay, Ankit, let's break it down. One, the Election Commission always maintained that they are deleting names who are names of either deceased people, names of people who moved to another location in the country, or duplicate names. They always maintained that. They did not, according to them, publish the details because they wanted to maintain a semblance of privacy. And they clarified that. That is the answer they gave to the court. But when the Supreme Court insisted these names must be published, even if it is to satisfy the minds of just the opposition, they complied. That's because they had the data. It was immediately done. Also, let me remind everyone that while the SIR exercise was being carried out and all the opposition leaders were speaking against it, they knew clearly that this entire month was the month that has been set out to raise objections, if any. Today is the 24th. Chalo, today is a Sunday. But what has the entire opposition done in the last 24 days? How many objections have they raised? Do you know there are nearly 1 lakh BLAs. Most of them belong to the opposition, far more than the number of BLAs that belong to the ruling party. What have they done? And what have been they doing on ground? The Supreme Court had to, in fact, give...
But why is the onus on the political parties for an exercise that the Supreme Court is doing?
It's very easy to come and cry about chori to the media. It's very easy to cast aspersions and allegations from behind the safety of a podium. But when it comes to concrete action, tell me what concrete action has been taken.
But why is the onus on the political parties, Sharu? Why should the onus be on the political parties to do so? And since
because
when?
They are the ones who
Since when? Because since let me just complete the question. And since when has the voter list become a confidential document that the Election Commission, decided to say that we will not initially go and put it out in public domain? It's always been in public domain.
So, Ankit, now when the opposition alleges chori, and they have been saying this, like I said, again and again, without proof, without data, because the stray examples that were taken by Rahul Gandhi in his press conference were shot down by the Election Commission. Most of these stray examples had an explanation, like Shakun Rani, like Minta Devi, whose t-shirts everybody wore and walked around. Even that 80 people to a room had been explained, and even that was shot down. The point here is, you can't cry wolf and then go running and
Sanjay Jha, you know, whether I agree with it or not, but it's a valid question. If there have been so many concerns, I'm sure your party workers will be inundated by people coming to them saying that their vote has been taken or has been deleted and nobody is listening to them. How is it that your party workers, your booth level workers, not your Congress party, before you say that you are not the official spokesperson of the Congress party, for the Congress party or the opposition, where are their workers? Why aren't they helping people to ensure that their vote, the right to vote which Rahul Gandhi is fighting in this vote Adhikar Yatra, is not taken away from them? Then it will sound as hypocrisy, only playing to the gallery.
Well, Ankit, for the record, I have always been an ideological supporter of the Congress, and that's never going to change. Here is the fundamental point, Ankit, that the Supreme Court finally said accept Aadhaar as an 11+1 document, and that effectively nails the issue and puts the EC and the BJP on an awkward spot because they denied that access to the voter to begin with. Now, with Aadhaar being more omnipresent, the problem will be nipped in the bud, which is why we are hailing it as a victory. The second point,
only for 65 lakh people.
Yeah. But here is the second point, because they are the ones who need a document. That here is the second point, that end of day, you know, they talk about privacy. By the logic of the EC, there should be no CCTV cameras anywhere in the country, even for security purposes, because that's an invasion of privacy. And the BJP backs that. I mean, we have reached a very absurd level in our political conversation.
Okay.
And I think that's the whole problem, Ankit, that the voter needs to be, you know, given as an inclusionary element in our voting process.
Okay.
But in Bihar, they have felt threatened that they're going to be excluded. And that is so sad.
Okay, I've come to the end of this discussion. I'll give you both 30 seconds uninterrupted to make your final remarks on the program. Charu, beginning with you. Mr. Anurag Thakur recently also did a press conference alleging, look at the number of, inflated voters, same voters on the same addresses, duplicate names, so on and so forth. He picked up 6 constituencies of the opposition. Eventually, people will think that the BJP and the Congress agree that there are problems as far as the electoral rolls are concerned, and both should be demanding all these electoral rolls at least to be cleaned in a way where they are satisfied. The Election Commission, on one hand, completely disses the opposition, while the BJP, we are still waiting for the BJP to go and complain as far as those 6 constituencies are concerned.
Ankit, the difference between the BJP and the opposition here is that we believe in the institution. We say if the Election Commission decides to conduct an SIR, not just in Bihar, but across the country, we stand with them. If we can support in any way, we will do that, because that's their job and that's what they're doing. They are setting out to clean the voter list. That is what is happening. Here, the Congress does the exact opposite. You complain that there are issues with the voter list. You complain that there are issues with the way voting is being conducted.
Okay.
But when the Election Commission sets down on ground to clean it up, you start crying out, because according to you, you need to set grounds for your failure even before the first vote is cast in Bihar.
Okay.
That's the
Sanjay, 30 seconds over. Sanjay, coming to you. If you don't have trust in any institution, whether it's the Election Commission or any else, especially the Election Commission when you're fighting the election, then let's put your money, on the important issue. Don't make a big gesture. Don't participate in the elections if you don't believe in the process. Shouldn't that be what the Congress party be aiming at if they don't have any faith in the institution or the empire conducting this election?
Ankit, we have faith in the intelligence, the wisdom, and the goodness of the people of Bihar. Let me just make 2 short points in 30 seconds. 1917, Gandhiji's movement that began in Champaran changed the destiny of this country and the freedom struggle. I come from Bihar, Ankit. I am telling you, Bihar के ज़मीन पे आक्रोश और घृणा नहीं है, लेकिन दर्द है, और वो क्रांति का नतीजा इनको बहुत जल्दी इनको उनका सामना करना पड़ेगा. और मैं आपको ये भी बताना चाहूंगा, अंकित जी, गांधी जी walked, the hero of Bihar today is on a bullet, and you see the future in the weeks and days ahead?
Sir, this is the problem where everybody wants to put their leaders on a pedestal, put them equal to the greats of this country, and both sides possibly. I would urge very humbly to refrain from that. We'll wait for that revolution to happen. Whether it does or not, people of Bihar will decide when the result comes in. But one thing is very, very clear. Unsubstantiated claims, if the government has any proof to back their allegations against Rahul Gandhi should not be the leader of opposition. He should be behind bars. And if the government does not, then these repeated remarks should not be made. And same goes for the Congress party. Come out with serious proof of your vote chori allegation, or trust the institutions which are at this moment working for the democracy of this country. Quick break. Thank you so much to Charu and Sanjay for this fascinating discussion. With that, I'm slipping into a short break. Coming back with much more. Stay tuned.